Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin, we'll take a look at our risk disclosure. Okay, just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided or contained herein is intended as investment advice or an offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse any security, company, or fund. We all understand that futures does carry a fair amount of risk. An investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital, money that they can otherwise afford to lose, should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so now that I've gotten through the risk disclosure, good morning, Wetlands. Good morning, Faye. We're going to go ahead. Hopefully, you guys can see the risk disclosure. If I can get a confirmation of that, that would be excellent. But go ahead and move on to the news portal here and see. Okay, excellent. We'll go ahead and take a look at the news portal now, and so turn our attention on a day with a good amount of news here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and share that right now. So a number of reports taking place as we speak. We have the U.S. unemployment rate number. Looks like it came in line. All right. We have non-farm payroll came in at an abysmal number here at 22K. Looks like, wow, well below the 75K. U.S. average earnings year over year came a tick 0.1 below. We have U.S. private payroll also came in almost half of what was expected. And then we have the U.S. average work week hours probably is somewhat in line. And so not very good numbers at all, right? We came in almost 70% below expectations here. Okay. So obviously the market is going to react on this kind of news. So let's go ahead now and take a look at the damage here. Okay. But I expect that we're probably getting some sort of sellout going on. Potentially, I haven't really opened my platform here just yet. So I took a peek that looks like the gold was indeed rallying. So we'll take a look here in a minute. Okay. And we'll kind of turn our attention to the charting platform here. Once it gets loaded here, we'll give it a minute or two to load. Okay, and let's see. Oh, looks like even the equities have rallied, which is kind of odd. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at gold has gone through the roof. All right, let's go ahead and move forward here. Let's go ahead and turn our attention to our platform. Let's go ahead and open that up here, and then we'll continue our review here. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do that. Okay, yeah. Let's see, window, and we're going to take a look at this here. All right. So as you can see, the wrong chart. Let's try this again. Okay, that's better. Like I said, we on that bit of news, we got a rally of close to 40 points in the gold market. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the daily and see what this means. Okay, so again, really strong move as a result of the news here to the upside in this market, in an otherwise market that has already been, for the most part, bullish. Okay, we had a slight little pullback here, but I would say that any sort of pullback on this kind of vertical move is probably welcomed, because that would maybe support the health of the market here. Okay, so we have a developing bullish engulfing candle as a result of the news that we received today. So the market continues to show a good amount of strength here to the upside. Moving down to the 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off some of our indicators here. So for now, we'll pause the initial balance. Again, you can see that again with the news, we got a developing bullish engulfing candle. We had what appears to be, some buyers of this market here kind of stepping in this market overnight. So a number of people holding, looks like it appears, are holding some longs here, maybe in anticipation of maybe some of the adverse news that we received in the market. Okay, so nonetheless, market continues to show signs of strength here. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna do this here really quick, guys. Just one last thing I need to do here, and then we'll move on to the 30-minute chart. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart here. Let's see how we can potentially benefit from this. So let's go ahead and drop to the 30-minute chart. Again, we have a very strong move. You can see our ADX indicator here. Our positive DI is also showing quite a bit of strength here. So let's go ahead and see what this all means. But let's start off with our fixed range volume profile, and we'll go ahead and close it here. Okay, so you can see with that move there, we got we're well above value. Okay, which is probably to be expected given such a large move that we received in the markets. We're going to go ahead and open up an initial balance. Okay, now this is going to be interesting because now it's established a very wide initial balance range. Now, if we have a wide initial balance range, okay, we have almost a, what is this? About a 45 point initial balance range where on average we normally get what's this? 98 to 14. So we normally get about 16 point range, okay? So I would say that's going to be particularly a challenge today, I would say, to really look for extensions of this move. It probably would not be unrealistic to think that we quite possibly could remain in range today. Okay. So we have to really be cognizant of that, and we really need to focus on making sure that we're entering at extremes. Okay. And not necessarily looking at the necessarily for extensions, especially given the large range that we received here. Okay, so let's take a look and maybe take a peek here on this developing candle here and see where maybe an opportunity might live here around the 50% extent. Retracement might be a nice area here. I'm going to go ahead and reverse this. I always make that mistake. Okay. So we'll do it like this here, top of that candle, top of this candle. Okay, so there's that 50% that I had mentioned. Given the strength, I would say that any sort of pullback down to the 36.30, 36.31 level, I think would be welcomed, okay, to potentially participate maybe in an upside move in this market, okay? Not really looking necessarily for extension trades, given the wide range. I really need to see if I can get some sort of pullback back to some sort of level where I can manage my risk. Okay. Right now, this is not something I can potentially take advantage of. I do not want to be a buyer at the highs, even though I'm given every indication here that that's the path I should take. Okay. I'm going to be waiting for some sort of pullback that offer me an area where I can manage my risk to the upside. Okay. So let's see, what else do I want to add to this chart? I'm gonna track this candle here with anchored VWAP. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. I think that one might be a wise thing to do here, is to kind of follow the advancement here these candles. Maybe with the last two here. Let's see, drop down to a 15-minute. Maybe give us another extra candle here. Stretch. Yeah, so the anchor VWAP is kind of not visible at the moment just because of the strength of this candle here. We'll try it one more time here. We'll go ahead and choose this candle right here. So yeah, you can see that we're the anchor VWAP is kind of built into this candle here, but it's kind of coming in at 36.33, right? So 36.33 is kind of another the current location of our anchor VWAP here. Okay, again, offering us maybe another location for a pullback, right? We already, at least I tried it once. I'm going to try to get this again. We have another area here that should alert us here around the 36.26 level. That could also offer us a location maybe for a retracement where we could potentially participate in the market. So right now, I understand I have a very strong, a potential of a very strong move to the upside, but I have to kind of be patient and disciplined and wait for a location where I can, participate and still manage my risk. So again, I have the VWAP that I've drawn here, anchor VWAP on this candle right here. I have retracement levels of this particular candle that could offer me maybe some locations where I can maybe participate in maybe a continuation move here to the upside. But the market looks like headed in is looking quite strong. Okay. All right. Let's take a peek here, see if there's any questions here. I wouldn't necessarily, Greg, I don't think it's necessary to necessarily wait for the initial balance. I think if we do get a pullback to some of these levels, I think it's okay, right? Well, the extent, because of such a wide range, Faye. Look at these initial balances here, right? This is if I just take the width, right, of this initial balance from top to bottom, right? This particular initial balance is at least twice and kind of pushing 2.5 the normal range, right? So to expect this market to continue to extend is probably not the best, right? I think we probably would be better served in looking for. Oops, that's not what I want to do. We would probably be better served in looking for some sort of retracement, right? That would offer us maybe an opportunity to participate in this market. Okay, it goes without saying, that we need to have, some indication that it's going to continue. Obviously, right? This could be. That's goes without saying. But participating here at the highs does not seem like a wise thing. And I don't know about you. I'm not really interested in fading such a strong move. Okay. Yeah, it could very well be a range day, right? So again, that we have to always be aware of that as well, right? So either we participate in some sort of retracement, or we look at some of these areas here, which I think will have a challenging time reaching. And we need to look at the extremes here, right? So again, another area that I might add here is this prior area of support or resistance, right down here at 36.17 or 36.18. So we have a number of levels here, guys, that we can use maybe as a potential, but the theme is the same, right? The theme is the same. I need some sort of pullback on a 15-minute to come into some sort of range, and then I need a price event to indicate that there is still more upside opportunity in the market. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market and see how that reacted. So that didn't the job reports or the jolts didn't really have an effect on the crude oil. Crude oil continues to kind of spiral to the downside here. I don't see anything here. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily also continuing this kind of downward march here to the downside, which I find quite amazing given all the uncertainty around oil. Okay. So, but in any case, I'm not trading fundamentals here, right? I trade what the chart is telling me, and right now this chart is telling me that there is still some more downside opportunities in this market, right? we have the 60-50 level, which is the 61.8% extension. And then we have the 57 level that, is kind of serving as kind of a target for this. Yeah, bears definitely are having a blast. No pun intended, in oil. Okay. Moving down, okay, to the 4-hour chart, we're going to take a look here and, turn off some of these levels. So again, we have another kind of, push here to the downside in a otherwise kind of bearish structure here. We have this 62, 61 level, 61.70 level that has the potential to be maybe somewhat supportive. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that level, that area right there. It does appear to be a kind of a supportive level. So it would not be out of the realm of possibility here that we could come down and maybe bounce. I wouldn't say necessarily reverse, but certainly receive a bounce from this area. But I would be more inclined that any sort of bounce would be an opportunity maybe to continue to sell. Right, I would probably want to sell strength in this market. Any chance that I get, right? You can see that the negative DI is well above the positive DI, indicating that we are well inside bearish structure. We have the ADX indicator that's kind of sloping higher. So there's a fair amount of momentum here to the downside in this market. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart, looking at the 30-minute chart, really not telling us much different than what we already know. Right, price is below our VWAP, again indicating that there is a fair amount of interest here to the downside. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile and just kind of confirm what I think I already know, but I'll confirm it anyway. Is where is price in relation to yesterday's price action, and that is below. Okay, so again, fair amount of interest. Again, a lot of interest to the bearish side in this market. All right. And again, I think as we head into the session, we need to continue to look for opportunities, okay, where we can participate here to the downside. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a little anchored VWAP here at the top of this one here. So just give us maybe another location here around the 63 level. Okay. It does appear to be a logical level, maybe to retrace and continue. Okay. And that would create kind of a staircase kind of action. Okay. That we've been seeing, or that we'd like to see in a healthy downside market. All right. Let's see. We're going to take a look at initial balance here. Actually, technically not open yet, but we're going to take a look at the initial balance ranges here for, let's see. This is for, let's open it up for Tokyo if I can. Okay. So Tokyo, okay, was lower, right? Really narrow range. And then it moved to the downside. I suspect that London is also lower. Oops. London also lower. Okay. So we had a nice break of the initial balance range to the downside. So we had a push lower, gave some indication here that maybe we were in some sort of failed auction, only to continue to its trek to the downside. Okay. So a lot of bears in this market at the moment. And I would say that the best path forward for us is to continue to look for maybe some bearish opportunities. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead now and take a look at the equity markets. Again, I was kind of initially surprised that we got an upside move here, given the report. Okay. But the market is still early. We're still pre-market. All right. So looking at the daily, we gotten a positive kind of reaction. Okay, to this report. Okay, we are beginning to break some structure here to the upside. This is developing, but we've already kind of talked about that we've been in this kind of consolidation pattern, which is going to continue to draw, right? And so the question now becomes: is this going to be the catalyst that's going to cause the market to rally? Right. Right now, we're right up at the upper end of this channel. With 1, 2, 3 consecutive days of bullish price action. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart here, we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. Again, you can see that there's a fair number of buyers in this market ever since Tuesday. Okay, ever since Tuesday, we've had a steady higher high, higher low in this market? I don't know. Faye, I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how and why stocks would go higher on those numbers. Okay. Yeah. Maybe they think, given those horrid numbers, that the Fed has no choice but to reduce rates. That's really the only explanation that I have. Okay. Because those numbers should have caused the market to rally. But again, guys, we don't trade fundamentals here, right? We trade what the market is telling us. So the reaction so far has been positive. Maybe because they feel, could feel that maybe that's going to force us into a rate cut decision. I'm not sure. Okay. Or like Greg, maybe this is a liquidity grab, maybe to grab more to eventually drive this lower. We don't know, right? Right now, what we're seeing is the market is rallying from that news, which is really hard to believe, to be honest. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Okay, so the 30-minute chart, we have again a nice reaction of the news. We see that price is above our VWAP, also giving us positive indications that we maybe could head higher in this market. We see that the ADX indicator, or the DI aspect of the DMI indicator, is also remaining above our bearish, okay, giving us indication that we are still in a very bullish trend at the moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here. We'll take a look and see where price is in relation to value. Well, there it is, right? No surprise, right? We're above value. Okay, so again, a logical place for price for us would be around this 23,600 level. Well, that would be a logical place for price to maybe come back to at some point and offer us maybe an opportunity. Now, the question is that going to be today? Well, it doesn't look like it, right? Given this move here, the next logical place for maybe to look for maybe a participation would be the area of the break, right? So this area right here, right around 23,800. Okay. That would, again, anytime we get a significant break of a level, we often revisit it, right? So this might be a logical area around 23,800 that could offer us maybe a continuation trade here to the upside, okay? But I'm not participating to the long side, right? Right? I'm not going to be participating to the long side at the highs, right? If I'm going to participate to the long side, I need to see some sort of pullback. And on this chart, 30-minute chart, 23,800 seems to be the logical area for that. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Friday is one of those days where they try to, kind of fish for traders, maybe entice traders to do things that they would otherwise not want to do. And for me right now, it seems obviously that they're trying to entice traders to maybe get in and then maybe reverse. I don't know. But in any case, I'm not really sold necessarily on this bullish move. Although I do see that we are breaking structure here to the upside. I'm obviously going to wait for the market to open here and see what the market is going to do once on the open. I don't know if this is a pump and dump kind of thing. I'm not sure, but allows maybe some of the bigger players to get exit out of their positions before they decide to kind of maybe get out of those same positions. So we need to be careful. I would say in general. Okay. Yes, definitely want to think about capital preservation here today. Okay. So nonetheless, again, based on the price action, based on the reaction that we're getting so far, yeah, everything's going up except crude, which is, again, kind of odd here. But in any case, it is what it is. I refuse to be, yeah. Yes, we don't want to be whale food, right? Okay. All right. So, all right. So anyway, equities right now, NASDAQ in particular, looks bullish. I cannot deny it, right? That's kind of what we're seeing right now. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to just kind of take a peek here at the initial balance. Yeah. So again, the initial balance offered us a nice extension, okay, to the upside on that candle. This being not the US session, but this is the London session, right? So we have a developing candle that's looking very likely that's going to close above. It made a nice little sweep, okay, of so maybe some weak longs here, right? Price came down, swept away a lot of stops, and then it headed higher, right? That's exactly what it did right here, okay? So in any case, headed into the session again, guys, I would say that we need to be careful. I'm not necessarily bought in 100% on this move to the upside. If I am going to participate and deny or not, maybe have blinders to some of the news that we received with respect to jobs, then again, similar kind of thing. I need to see some sort of retracement from this candle to participate. Okay, if I'm going to participate in this upside move, and I need to see some sort of retracement, I am not going to participate up at the highs here. Okay. All right. If anything, again, it's an opportunity to fade, but again, difficult to fade something so strong. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and remove some of my drawings here, guys. Okay. So taking a look at the ES here, guys. No surprise here that we're seeing some of the same information here. We're going to go ahead and start off with the daily here. Okay. And looking at the daily, you can see that price continues its trek to the upside. I would say that even the ES is looking a bit stronger to me than even the Nasdaq at this point. We're making a steady series of higher highs and higher lows, where the Dow, where the Nasdaq was kind of more of in the consolidation pattern. So I would say that the ES is even looking a bit stronger to me than the Nasdaq. Okay. But nonetheless, we continue to remain in some sort of bullish structure here. Looking at the 4-hour chart, similar kind of story here, guys. Looking at this, we continue to show signs of strength in this market. We continue to make a lot of buyers in this market here, right? Are holding long positions in this market. Now, as long as they continue to get paid, well, obviously that could potentially attract more buyers, right? That's kind of the idea here, right? It's kind of a little bit of a buying frenzy here at the moment. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart here. We have a developing 30-minute candle here. Right, that is quite bullish. Okay. If I look at the fixed range volume profile, again, no surprise here if we are above. Okay, so if I go back to the start here, right, again, no surprise that we're above. Again, all indications are that that we're headed higher. Okay, above VWAP, above value. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for the open of the market. I'm going to let the initial balance range establish and then go from there. But right now, it does appear that we're potentially headed into a bullish market, but I would be careful. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the Dow here. Okay, looking at the Dow again, similar kind of thing. Looking at the daily again, probably a little bit more in the way of consolidation, right? Than maybe the ES. I would say if I had to rank them equity wise, the ES probably seems to be the strongest. And then I don't know, probably I would say that the Dow and the Nasdaq seem to be a bit more neutral to me. Probably the Dow maybe lagging a little bit, maybe some of the move that we're seeing in the Nasdaq. So I would probably order it ES, Nasdaq, Dow as far as strength here. Okay. So again, we continue to be in some sort of consolidation pattern at the moment with some strength here. Yesterday we had a nice strong bullish candle here. And now we're developing kind of a candle here that's indicating some sort of rejection of this lower area, indicating that there might be maybe another opportunity here to the upside in this market. Looking at the 4-hour chart, again, similar kind of thing. A lot of buyers appear to be in this market here. We did have the negative DI here kind of peak above. Okay. But now we're seeing a formation of a candle that's indicating some rejection of lower prices that could cause maybe the market to head above. Okay. So I would say that this 45,800 level is going to be pivotal. Okay. Do we manage to get above it and hold with some volume? Then that 45,800 level could offer us maybe a springboard. Okay. Right. This candle right here, yes, is definitely kind of a candle that maybe is taking out some folks here, right, to the long side. 30-minute chart. Again, we have a developing engulfing candle here. Maybe this is already engulfing. I'm not sure. But in any case, the candle here is indeed a strong one. We have a close of a bullish engulfing candle. And now we have a developing candle here that is at the top end of the range. Again, showing signs of strength here. So let's go ahead and just take a peek here at the fixed range volume profile. And that is also giving us, we're not quite above. Okay. So of the three, it does appear that the Dow does appear to be the weakest of the three, has not managed to get above the value range where other equity markets have. So I would say, again, ES, NASDAQ, and Dow in that order of strength is kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Okay. All right. Let's take just one last peek across all the markets here, guys, and see kind of what kind of developments we've had in this market. Okay. So looking at, see the 15-minute chart here. Let's just take a peek here at the 15. Okay. So we had some sort of rejection away from some of that area that we talked about, right? We said that the price, if it came back down to around this 50% level, that could offer us maybe an opportunity for maybe a continuation trade to the upside. I don't know how many people, if anyone, has taken that opportunity, but that opportunity did present itself. Okay. So gold still looks like that we are looking maybe to continue to head higher. Crude oil, again, is probably continuing to look weak. Okay. So we're getting a little bit of reaction here at the bottoms here around the 62 level. So I don't know if this 62 level is going to hold, right? But we are getting some indication that maybe 62 is kind of maybe a stand that the buyers are taking here at this moment. But it's really hard for me to embrace the longs here, given this kind of structure. So I don't know if this might be an opportunity, right? If we get up to maybe 62.60, maybe even 62.80, that could offer us maybe an opportunity for a continuation trade to the downside. And then across all the equities, again, I'm a bit surprised here with the move that we're seeing here to the upside. If we are again going to participate in this, I would say that if we are going to really participate this to the long side, we really need to see how if we can get some sort of pullback. It's hard to imagine that we get this kind of strength on these kind of numbers, but the market is what it is, right? We don't trade fundamentals. We trade what the charts are telling us, and the charts are telling us that we should be looking for some upside opportunities in the NASDAQ. All right. Dow also giving us the same kind of look and feel, also looking quite bullish. And I would say the weakest, and maybe is the Dow, but it's still showing signs of strength here, although it's inside value. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you guys for today. I would say that we need to be extremely careful today, guys, given that it is Friday, given that we've gotten some news that would otherwise indicate to us that we should probably be falling. I don't know if this is going to be a pump and dump kind of day in the equities. So I would be wary of that. But again, as long as price continues to the upside, we need to look for opportunities where we can manage our risk if we are going to continue to look in that direction. Okay. So I'm going to pause here to see if there's any sort of questions in the markets. I see that we got a fair number of likes here, so I'm happy about that. So we continue to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment or two if this analysis is supporting your ability to navigate the markets. Okay. Yes, we need a fair amount of patience today, guys. Thank you, sir. I'm keeping it all safe today. No trades for me. Made a little this week and not much, but capital preservation today. Yes, I would agree. This is probably not a day that we want to shoot for the fences, given sort of the disconnection, I guess, that we're getting right now in the markets. Okay. Disconnection, what I mean by that is that the news really is not translating to what we might be, we should be expecting to see on the charting platforms here. Okay. All right, George. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and close it off there. Again, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Okay. Have an excellent weekend, guys, and we'll pick up again on Monday. De nada, George. De nada, Alejandro.